Chapter 10: Oral Language Development and Grammar Awareness Integration of Literature and Skills. So, reading is the only academic area in which we expect children to arrive as kindergarteners with a basic skill level. Research has shown that oral language, the foundations of which are developed by age 4, has a profound impact on children's preparedness for kindergarten and on their success throughout their academic career. Oral language is often associated with vocabulary as the main component. However, oral language is comprised of much more. In the broadest definition, oral language consists of 6 areas. First, phonology. Phonology covers the organization or system of sounds within a language. Once the phonological system has been acquired for basic listening and speaking, children begin to develop phonological awareness, the awareness of words in sentence or syllables in words. Second, grammar or syntax. As children develop their oral language skills, they also develop an understanding of grammar, the set of structural rules that govern the combination of words and phrases into sentences, as well as show a sentence are combined into paragraphs. Third, morphology. Sometimes considered to be a subset of syntax and sometimes considered as part of vocabulary. Morphology is focused on the smallest units of meaning within a word, as well as the rules about how those words are formed. Fourth, vocabulary or semantics. The development of vocabulary focuses both on expressive and receptive vocabulary. Expressive vocabulary represents the words a student actively uses when talking, writing, or otherwise communicating. Fifth, discourse. It is critically important that students understand these structures through listening comprehension before they even begin to focus on reading comprehension. And lastly, pragmatics, considered by some reading experts as the hidden curriculum in a classroom. Pragmatics requires the understanding of the social use of language. Ways of developing oral language. Encourage conversation. Every social interaction gives students a new opportunity to practice language. Some of your students might need a little guidance from you to engage in conversations. So spark interactions whenever you can. Ask questions, rephrase the student answers, and give prompts that encourage oral conversations to continue. Model syntactic structure. Your student may not use complete oral syntax in informal speech, but encourage them to do so when they are in the classroom. When a student uses fragmented syntax, model complete syntax back to them. This builds oral language skills and gives student practice in skill necessary for mastering written language. Maintain eye contact. Engage in eye contact with the student during instruction and encourage them to do the same. Maintaining eye contact will help learners gauge their audience's attention and adjust their language, their volume, or the organization of their speech. This will help them be better understood, communicate more clearly, and successfully interpret nonverbal cues about their clarity. Remind the students to speak loudly and articulate clearly. Ask students to feel the muscles used for speech while they are talking and monitor their volume and articulation. Remind them that clear and loud enough speech is essential for holding the attention of their group and communicating their information and opinions effectively. Compile a class booklet of students' praises. So, give your student a sentence to finish such as, "When my dog got lost, I look." Have each student contribute a prepositional phrase to complete the sentences. Then, have your students create a class booklet by writing and illustrating their phrases. Question to boost comprehension. Asking questions before and after a reading assignment not only helps sharpen oral language skills, it also helps students think about what they are reading and absorb information from the words. And lastly, teach concept words. Some students may have difficulty with abstract concepts such as before, after, or following, and with sequences such as day of the week or months of the year. To help students learn and retain this concept, you may need to represent and review them many times and in multiple ways. Teaching grammatical structures. Use the term grammatical structures rather than grammar rules. Through the writing process, idea development is influenced by choices of grammatical structures within and among sentence. Emphasize a limited number of grammatical structures and editing conventions at any one time. So, students need to focus on the structuring of ideas, not the memorizing of rules. Each class is different. Only through analysis of your student writing can you determine which grammatical structures and conventions you need to teach each year. And lastly, learning to write well is like learning to paint well. So the study of the masters and daily practice, including sentence modeling, is essential.
Using a story as a springboard in a grammar lesson. Grammar Springboards is a series designed to help teachers teach grammar with confidence and make vocabulary, grammar, and punctuation a stimulating and fun learning experience for all learners. It comprises 3 books with C discovering nouns, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, sentence, and punctuation. The teaching of grammar skills is not a separate lesson by itself, but is a lesson that is built on the reading selection. Students will certainly appreciate and respond to your efforts to include them in the storytelling process, but they will also enjoy learning about you through your stories. Explicit instruction in a grammar lesson. Explicit instruction refers to instruction that incorporates the representation and explanation of language, rules, and or direction to attain to particular language structures. If neither one of these two conditions are present, the treatment of grammar is regarded as implicit.
Designing a grammar lesson. How do we build a grammar in a lesson? First, start by preparing yourself. So acknowledge what you know and embrace what you don't know. Don't get down on yourself about this. The English language is vast and often. We teachers are not trained to teach grammar. How to start teaching grammar. How to design a grammar lesson plan. Research your topic. Provide an anticipatory set. Grammar lesson plans are not that different from other ELA lesson plans. Activate prior knowledge and hopefully provide a transition. Normal anticipatory sets that you use with other lessons will help you build a grammar lesson. Videos about parallelism, verb voice, verb moods, and other language concepts exist. Not only will you be engaging students with a preview of the concept, but you will also be relating to students who might want to be linguists or translators. Give direct instruction but connect to concepts. Many grammar lesson plans include direct instruction in some capacity. Not every part of grammar lesson should be direct instruction. However, I know that many teachers fear that a grammar lesson will only be direct instruction. Don't allow the fear to stop direct instruction. Our grammar lessons will move beyond the grammar worksheet. Here are pieces that will work. Consider this part of a grammar lesson plan sample. Prepare. Build up the examples you will show. When you first question how to start teaching grammar, you might feel overwhelmed. During the first year or so you deliver grammar lessons. Giving examples for grammar may seem nerve-wracking. Come prepared with examples. Write them on a note card or put them on a presentation. Then, start adding to the examples slowly. Have an entire example ready but leave out the subject or proper nouns. Ask students to add to them.
Number 6. Give students a manageable assignment. Ask your students to complete an assignment, 20 sentences or multiple paragraphs is not necessary. Give students 5 or 10 sentences. Evaluate the result. First, don't expect perfection unless you work at a school where teaching grammar is norm. You might not have high result the first few times with a grammar lesson. Learning grammar is a complex way of thinking, and while that is great for students' brain, it requires that instructors be patient with their students. 8. Connect the concept, the class, rest of class. For me, the key component to build a grammar lesson plan that succeed is to connect grammar to other parts of class.